Cameron Boyce was a bright star. He was an actor, a dancer, and a friend to so many people. We saw him grow up on our screens. From the Disney Channel to major films, his talent was, honestly, just so clear. He had a special energy that you could really feel. It came through in every role he played. His smile was infectious. His laugh was genuine. People felt connected to him because he was real. He was more than just a performer. He was a young man with a big heart and a deep soul, a soul that was constantly searching for meaning and connection in the world around him. His passing in 2019 was a shock to everyone. It left a void in the hearts of fans, friends, and family. We remember his incredible performances. We remember his dedication to making the world a better place. But today we want to look deeper. We want to understand what made Cameron the person he was. What were the secret inspirations that fueled his creativity and his kindness? The story of his life is also the story of the people and passions that shaped him. We're discovering that his journey was filled with influences that, honestly, many never knew about. Many people know about his love for dance and acting. These were his public passions. But behind the scenes, Cameron was a student of life. He was always watching, always learning. He found inspiration in places many people might overlook. He wasn't just influenced by famous actors or dancers, he was moved by artists, thinkers, and everyday heroes. These hidden inspirations gave him a unique perspective. They helped him build a character that was both strong and compassionate, both playful and wise beyond his years. Understanding Cameron's inspirations helps us understand his legacy. It wasn't just about fame, it was about impact. He wanted to use his platform to create positive change. He wanted to inspire others just as he had been inspired. By exploring the sources of his motivation, we get a fuller picture of the young man who touched so many lives. We see how a combination of art, family, and a deep sense of purpose created a truly remarkable individual whose light continues to shine brightly long after he is gone. One of Cameron's lesser-known inspirations was the street artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. Cameron was fascinated by Basquiat's bold, raw style. He saw more than just paint on a canvas. He saw a story. He saw a powerful voice speaking out against injustice. Basquiat's art was messy, complex, and full of emotion. Cameron connected with that honesty. He admired how Basquiat could turn his struggles and his culture into something beautiful and thought-provoking. This influence pushed Cameron to be more authentic in his own work. He wanted his performances to have that same raw, unfiltered energy. Another key influence came from his own family history. Cameron was very proud of his mixed heritage. His paternal grandmother, Joanne Boyce, was one of the Clinton 12. She was one of the first African-American students to desegregate a public high school in the South. Cameron listened to her stories of courage and resilience. He was deeply moved by her strength in the face of incredible adversity. This personal connection to the civil rights movement gave him a profound sense of social responsibility. He understood that fighting for what is right was part of his own story, a legacy he had to carry forward. Beyond art and history, Cameron found inspiration in movement itself. While people knew he was a talented dancer, his influences were very specific. He was a huge admirer of the Nicholas brothers, the legendary tap dancers from the 1930s and 1940s. He would watch their old films for hours. He was amazed by their athleticism, their creativity, and their incredible showmanship. They were innovators who broke boundaries. Cameron saw their dance as a form of pure joy and expression. He tried to bring that same level of innovation and passion to his own dance, always pushing himself to try new things. Cameron also drew inspiration from literature and poetry. He was an avid reader who loved words. He was particularly drawn to poets who could capture complex emotions in simple language. This love for storytelling influenced how he approached his acting roles. He didn't just memorize lines, he tried to understand the character's inner world, their hopes, and their fears. He saw each script as a piece of poetry. He wanted to find the rhythm and the meaning behind the words. This thoughtful approach gave his performances a depth that was, honestly, pretty rare for an actor his age. The influence of artists like Basquiat was clear in Cameron's personal style and creative projects. He began to express himself through fashion. He saw clothing as another form of art. He would often wear unique, custom-painted jackets. These were his tribute to the street art he loved. This was more than just a fashion statement. It was a way for him to carry his inspirations with him. It showed the world that he was thinking about art and culture on a deeper level. He wanted his very presence to be a conversation starter about the things that moved him. His grandmother's story was a powerful motivator for his charity work. Hearing about her bravery gave him a clear mission. He co-founded the Cameron Boyce Foundation to provide young people with creative outlets as alternatives to violence. He also became deeply involved with nonprofits like the Thirst Project, which brings clean water to communities in need. He didn't just lend his name to these causes, he was actively involved. He traveled, he spoke, he raised money. He knew that his grandmother had faced injustice and he felt a duty to fight the injustices of his own time. The Nicholas brothers' influence was visible every time Cameron danced. He wasn't just performing steps, he was telling a story with his body. You could see it in his breakout role in Jesse and in the Descendants films. His dance numbers were full of energy, precision, and a sense of fun. He incorporated old-school moves with modern styles. He honored the legends who came before him while creating something new. His dedication to the craft of dance showed his respect for his inspirations. He wanted to make them proud by pushing the art form forward. His love for literature shaped him into a thoughtful and articulate speaker. When he gave interviews or spoke at events, he chose his words carefully. He was able to communicate big ideas in a way that everyone could understand. He spoke about unity, kindness, and the power of creativity. He encouraged his fans to read, to learn, and to find their own voices. He showed them that being smart and being cool were not mutually exclusive. He used his platform to promote a message of intellectual curiosity and emotional intelligence, all rooted in his quiet love for the written word. Cameron Boyce's journey teaches us a valuable lesson. It teaches us to look for inspiration everywhere. It's not just in the famous or the successful. It can be found in a painting, a family story, or an old black and white film. Cameron showed us that our passions become richer when we understand their history. He built his own identity by weaving together the threads of the people and ideas that moved him. He reminds us to stay curious, to ask questions, and to learn from the world around us in all its forms. He took these inspirations and turned them into a force for good. He didn't keep them to himself. He shared them with the world through his art and his actions. In doing so, he became an inspiration himself. Young fans saw him and felt empowered. They saw a young man who was talented, kind, and deeply engaged with the world. He made it cool to care. He made it important to know your history. He showed that you could be a Disney star and a social activist at the same time. He created a new model for what a young celebrity could be. The impact he left is immeasurable. The Cameron Boyce Foundation continues his work, helping young people find their creative spark. His friends and family continue to share his story, ensuring his message of kindness and creativity lives on. For his fans, his legacy is a call to action. It's a challenge to find what inspires you and use it to make a difference. Whether it's painting, dancing, volunteering, or simply being a good friend, we can all honor Cameron by living a life filled with purpose and passion. In the end, Cameron Boyce was more than just an actor we watched on TV. He was a collector of beautiful ideas and a beacon of positive energy. He absorbed the best parts of his inspirations, the courage of his grandmother, the creativity of Basquiat, the joy of the Nicholas brothers, and reflected them back to the world brighter than before. His time with us was short, but his impact is everlasting. He taught us that a life well lived is one that is open, curious, and dedicated to leaving the world a little better than you found it.